Okay, so welcome back to another episode of the Future Proof podcast, where we have the backs of founders who are looking to just scale. You know, maybe you're already doing 6 figures, you're already doing 7 figures, and you're looking to scale, become more profitable, but you want to utilize this AI, this technology in the ever evolving world of lead generation, marketing, and technology. We're here to bridge the gap, help you with that. We've got a value-packed episode for you today. But before I go into that, introducing myself, Michael.
Yes, Javen here.
We're the co-founders of Scaling Edge. And yeah, if you're looking for lead generation and marketing with a young, fresh take on it, not the old, played out stuff that doesn't work, then we're here for you. But let me get into it. So what I want to talk about in today's episode is basically how AI has transformed paid advertising. And we typically will use one of two directions, or think of lead generation in one or two directions, right? When it comes to actually powering through and taking control. And that's organic and that's paid advertising. Organic generally is outbound. You can look at it as making content as well, outreach. Cool. Paid advertising is using any of the platforms, Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever, right? So we'll talk about paid advertising as a whole, but even we'll lean in a little bit towards Meta, because the general consensus for a long time has been that Meta is dead, right? For paid advertising, especially with the type of business owners that we work with. General consensus is that you don't have great leads there. You only have people who are just scrolling. They're busy watching pet videos and you're interrupting them. And then they click on it and so on and so forth, right? And recently I found myself correcting a lot of people in that. But what would you say, because we've been doing Meta ads for a while, so what would you say is the core 3 differences, or just go straight into the juice of it? Like, what are the core 3 benefits of running Meta ads now versus 2-3 years ago?
I think Meta have made advertising so much easier. Like, now I feel like anyone could do it. Before, I remember the first day I opened up Ads Manager, it just looked mad complicated. Like, it's got all the interest targeting. This is before iOS 14 and all that stuff, the pixel and all this. And I'm just thinking, this looks nuts. Now it's like, you don't need like advertising expertise to do it anymore. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people overestimate. They think it's going to be mad difficult. A lot of business owners think, oh, it's mad hard. It's not as hard as it used to be. So that's one thing I would say for sure. How about you?
Or you feel like the interface has gone better?
Yeah, the interface has made it easier. They've made it a lot easier. And also over the years, they're taking away more features. They take away more features than what they add. So they're taking away less of your ability to tinker with things. That's why they keep pushing Advantage Plus, because they want to take over everything and they just want to use AI to do everything for you.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about Advantage Plus. Like, what does that mean since we brought it up?
So essentially, Advantage Plus is Meta's kind of their own system where, for example, you give them one bit of ad copy. If you turn on Advantage Plus, they will create their own variations that they think is going to get you the type of people that you're after. If you put Advantage Plus for finding an audience, they will go out and find the audience that you want for you based on what your ad is. Rather than you setting all the targeting, custom targeting yourself, they do it for you. So, and it does work, but there's a lot of advertisers that spend way more than us who say that for lead generation, you should still do custom targeting. But if you were doing sales, let's say we was trying to do sales, like trying to sell like a $10 ebook, then you might want to do Advantage Plus, because their product, their catalog Advantage Plus thing is like quite successful and it works very well. But everything's always testing, but yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So the Advantage Plus is one. Would you say that even before you get into Meta, I always say that creative's a big thing. So even something as simple as the amount of creative you can produce and create and edit and so on and so forth is a lot better. Like, for example, business owner comes in, you know, maybe you're a lawyer or you're an accountant and you don't even really want to shoot videos. You don't really want to shoot video ads. You're not good. You haven't done it before. So you can do it, but you're not going to be the most electric and, you know, animated person because that's not your forte. Well, now you can create an AI avatar that does the video for you. And to be honest with you, the way they are now, when it comes to an ad, no one's going to know the difference. I'm trying to say to you, if you were to write ad, nobody's going to know the difference, whether this is one of your employees or not, right? So that's a way to do it. And also just ad editing, creating copy, creating ideas. So on the creative sides, I think that which is very important, because when you think of what ads are, you're putting content out to audiences that you want to see it, right? So it's a big part of the whole puzzle. So if you can come up with the ideas in bulk, and then also like create creative with it, create creative out of nowhere, out of nothing. Like you can prompt and say, make a video of a guy swinging from a tree wearing a suit and then promoting car insurance, right? Like that's crazy, but you can actually do it. So that's what one benefit. What would you say talk to us about something very important when it comes to ads, and that's like speed to lead and the follow-up process, and how AI has sort of transformed that?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things that we all suffer with is like not being able to get in contact with your leads quick enough, right? That's just advertising in general. We spoke to quite a big business maybe 2 months ago now. Definitely need to follow them up. And I went through their funnel, and they're in the real estate industry, and they have a picture ad which has no AI. You can tell AI wasn't used. It's a picture ad. Someone submits a form, and then it says, "Oh, we'll call you back later." You just took my details. You're going to call me back later. I didn't get a text or call till about 3 or 4 hours later, and I forgot I even did it. So AI now, you can integrate AI chatbots, AI outreach agents that basically, as soon as someone submits their data, because they said they're interested, the AI will message them, do the research on them, find out about what they do, where they're from, and what the context of the conversation is, and it will start the conversation for you. That's where it's heading, and that's not a part of Meta's platform. But it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if they start to implement that, where now they're even helping you. They have their own outreach system off the back of, they're definitely going to do it. Like Zuckerberg's too smart to not have that. So that's one way. Yeah. What do you think about like how business owners can make that even better? Because obviously we have that in our system, but we can always make it better. What do you think are ways you can make that follow-up process? Obviously speed to lead, so we contact them within 5 minutes, but how can we even make that better in terms of converting them into a booked call in your diary?
Okay, cool. That's a very good question. I think what we could do and actually implement straight away or soon is the lead comes in, right? So let's say you could have 10, 20, 30 leads coming in, right? Obviously, you could just have an AI chatbot that's there that responds to the lead straight away. But I think what's going to become very popular is having the AI do research about that individual lead itself, right? So let's say John Smith comes in, clicks on my ad, whatever, right? Puts in some key details. The AI will go and research information about John Smith, and within 5-10 minutes, it say, hey, John, clicked on that ad. I'm guessing it's about your business XYZ. Looked at it, like it looks like a really good business and so on. So you've been going since XYZ. What do you think about us helping you with XYZ? I think that personalization piece can even that will probably increase the percentage rate, because when you're seeing that type of message and response, like they say in psychology that people's favorite topic is themselves, right? So you can show them that you're talking about them, you understand something about them, and that first, within 5-10 minutes, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's impressive. And I think people buy based on that a lot of times. I didn't realize that, until quite recently, that, even it could be you're buying a product, it could be technology, it could be a food, it could be anything, right? You buy something off Amazon. If you're buying it and as you're buying it, you just like certain things, maybe you like the reviews on it, maybe you like the quality of the packaging, maybe you're going onto the website and you're ordering and you get to check out and it just is smooth. You're more likely to buy just because of the respect for the company and how they do things, and you're more in belief that they're going to treat you well with that product. So I think that if you can show that level of personalization, care, and I definitely believe more people will convert. Yeah, 100%. You think? Yeah. What about you? Got any different ideas?
Hey, sorry to cut you. I hope you're enjoying the podcast, but I need to let you know this one quick thing. If you press in the description, you will see we have a 14-day AI sales playbook. It's for any business owner that wants to scale using AI. It's one email every single day that gives you exact tools, tricks, and tips that we use in our businesses and our clients to help them scale, basically. It's completely free. Anyway, back to the podcast. Let's go. I think obviously you got the AI voice thing. You call straight away. That might increase the conversions.
So for people that don't know, so you can also get you're running ads. The leads come in. We said you can get the chatbot, the AI to respond to them, but you can also get a voice agent to call these leads if you do want to as well. And don't be fooled. There are some bad companies with some bad voices, but we can create like much better voices than what's out there. So feel free to reach out to us for a demo.
That's true. That's true. And then I think another thing that would be quite useful is to essentially have something where the AI, and this is a bit more of a complex build, but I think it's something that we could even build for ourselves. Is right now we have it where it's a WhatsApp outreach, but what if it collects the details and then it reroutes to do obviously WhatsApp email, but now it does Instagram DM and LinkedIn DM automatically, rather than us having to, a lead's come in, the AI reaches out via WhatsApp and email anyway, but then we might follow up and find them on LinkedIn and send them a message and a connection request. What if we could build it where just off the back of us collecting the leads data, it now goes straight to LinkedIn and it just automatically connects with them with a message. Hey, I just saw you downloaded my XYZ. Did you manage to take a look? Have you got time for a chat this week? And then also it sends them a DM on IG. Boom, 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 boom. And you can do the DM on IG, but it's a little bit difficult. But the LinkedIn thing would be a very good step. And obviously the phone calls is one step as well. So there's more we can add to that. And then I even got one more. If we're talking B2B, if it's a big company, 20 headcount, 30 headcount, maybe we add some other C-suite players in their business automatically off the back of finding out the company name. So, like on our form, it will say, what's your website? So now we've got the domain. Yep. Can we automate it where the domain is pulled into Sales Navigator or whatever, finds maybe the CFO or the head of finance or the head of marketing, and then we automatically connect with them as well. So now not just the founder, but other people in their team have seen us. These little things can make a difference. It might be 1%, it might be 2%, but that makes a difference in the long run in sales. So those are some ideas.
And I think the more you're spending on ads, or you're willing to spend on ads, the more you can do and the more you can create, right? So you can automate, just how we're kind of bouncing ideas now, you can automate an experience that you want to create for people when they click onto the ad. Okay. So if you think, all right, I want them to get a WhatsApp message, then I want to follow them on their different social media accounts. I want to drop them a personalized email, blah, blah, blah. We can create that. And the fact that you can create that at scale, you can be scaled. And just to give you a kind of insight. So I think when we move to the AI chatbot, I would need to kind of look at today's sort of percentages, but I would say roughly that our lead to booking rate probably went from being, I'll say 10 to 20% to like 60+% of people booking calls, right? Like, which is mad. When you think about that and how much money that can add on, even just over 50% of people booking calls, right, is mad. 40% even, from 10%, 20%, those sort of numbers. So it means that, let's use rough numbers and say that a company spending 10 grand on ads, right? Let's say they're getting 100 leads a day. Okay. And beforehand, they was only booking 10 to 20 calls or appointments from that, right? A day, just for math's sake. That will bounce your from 10 to 20 appointments. And then let's say 15, call it 15. And of those 15 appointments, let's say you're closing 30%. So you're closing around five people out of every 100 people, right? Obviously, that's amazing numbers. We love those numbers. That was amazing numbers. But if you now up that to 40 to 50%, let's say 45% of people are booking calls versus 45 people, right? Again, 30% closing rate, let's say you're looking at 15 people, 15 sales. So we went from, 5 sales to 15 sales. It's mad in the grand scheme of things. But just because they've done a lot of consumer psychology studies on the fact that speed to lead is important and it's simple. If I click on an ad, that is the point in time where I'm the most engaged and I'm the most, interested in it. So of course, if you catch me at that time, I'm more likely to give you the time of the day before any other thing can happen, or I see another ad or so on and so forth. Right. So yeah, speed to lead it's been very big. Definitely. So, all right, cool. So we've mentioned the initial part, just the creative. We mentioned within Meta ads and just the functionalities with the Vantage Plus. And then we've mentioned now the follow-up process as well. Okay. Let's give a little shout out. This is mainly for Meta, but what would you say about like LinkedIn ads as well and how it benefits from LinkedIn ads? Let's just do a little shout out for LinkedIn ads because a lot of people don't know about it at all. So I think we've got to do a separate podcast altogether on that. But what would you say about LinkedIn ads?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn ads is Like obviously we've been testing it on and off for the past 6 months or so. I think the benefit of LinkedIn ads is just quality. So
Yeah.
it's quality over quantity with LinkedIn ads. And I think because it's not, I think it does work. I think you need to have a bigger budget to play around with it, but it does work.
Mhm.
And especially B2B, if you know who you're targeting, but this is where when you work with companies, they need to make sure they know who their ICP is, ideal client persona. Because if you don't know who that is in detail, I think LinkedIn ads could be a mess. Could be a
Yeah,
mess
yeah,
if
of
you
course.
don't know in detail who you want to go for, company size, job title, what's typically, how long have they been in a job, all these type of things. The more you know about that, the more LinkedIn ads works like magic because you get
Yeah,
the right people. Um,
yeah.
but the only thing I would say is because LinkedIn ads is not, it hasn't been a platform for advertising as long as Meta. The UX of it is not as sophisticated as Meta. Do you get what I mean?
Hmm.
Because it hasn't been
Yeah,
around for as long. So that's the only thing. But if you're an advertiser, you'll learn how to
you know what
maneuver
to
it.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So for the actual founder themselves, it's not as simple and easy to just jump in as Meta. Because you hear,
Yeah.
I was speaking to someone recently and they were like, yeah, they tested out a little ad budget and they've gone in. So I think founders could be a bit more confident. Whereas LinkedIn, you know that one is going to be slightly more expensive than Meta. So you know you're going to need like £2,000-3,000 to at least to try and test with this. But then you
Exactly.
go in there and it looks like some, crazy code and do you know what I mean? Technology sort of thing. So you're a bit more scared. But yeah, definitely with the right marketers or advertisers who know what they're doing, I definitely believe that it can be a game changer. And I think if you've got a proven product, you've got reviews there, you've got testimonials, so that when somebody's introduced to your business, that whole closing part is smooth, then I think that it can be a game changer. And just so people are aware, the same thing applies. We can have the AI bots at the end of it, right?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
these come
Exactly.
in, the AI bots, we can have the follow-ups, the multiple follow-ups. We know their LinkedIn now, so it's even easier to just directly
Through the
reach back
LinkedIn
out via
outreach.
LinkedIn. So I think, yeah, 100%. If you've got that sort of clientele that lives on LinkedIn and you know directly who it is you're targeting, then yes, it's a winner.
Yeah, and I think that like even the reason Instagram or Meta is so easy is because they make it easy. Like if you post something, what do they have underneath? Boost
Boost
post.
posts, yeah,
You literally just press
yeah,
boost.
yeah.
So they make it
Because they
as
want the money.
easy.
They
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they want the money. I think because LinkedIn, let me just put my charger in. LinkedIn actually have a payment model, and it is actually expensive in a grand scheme. Like you can't,
mm,
not everyone can just have premium LinkedIn or Sales Navigator. Now,
yeah,
think about Sales Navigator is £80 a month.
yeah.
It's eighty
It's
pounds a
true.
month, so
Yeah,
they're making money. They're making money. If Instagram started charging £8 a month, a lot of people wouldn't
wouldn't do it.
use
Yeah, they wouldn't use
Instagram.
it. Yeah, it's true.
People be done.
It's
Yeah,
true.
straight. So yeah, man. Well, meta ads, that's been a quick little insightful episode about meta ads. We talked very, we flowed with the conversation. So it wasn't as instructional, right? Do this, then do this, then do that. If you want something like that, we do have a Scaling Edge channel. We'll link that somewhere and, you can go on that. That's very instructional. Here is where you can just kind of learn and just hear us speak, just really smoothly and explain what's going on so you can know and get it in real time. So if you've been thinking about adding meta ads to your tool set, or you're already running meta ad, but you're not really seeing the return that you'd like from it, look, reach out to us. Maybe you do need that young, fresh take on things. And that's us. Any announcements that you want to make, Jeff?
Nah, just like Michael said, check the description because we'll have some more like step-by-step videos that you can either give to someone in your team for them to implement and stuff like that. Or just reach out to us. We'll put our information in the description so that you can actually, we're happy to consult and maybe see where we could implement these AI systems in your paid marketing processes, because at the end of the day, we're moving in the AI age and things are not going to go backwards. They're only going to go forward, and you have to be ready for that.
That's it. All right. So make sure you subscribe, click the bell so you can be notified when we do more episodes like this. Drop us a comment. If you have any questions, we're here to help. That's us. Peace.
Peace.